We just passed a group of 5 British women with like 7 or 8 porters and guides. And the British women stopped us and they're like, "Where is your guide and your porter?" We're like, "We're doing it on our own." They're like, "What? You guys will never make it." Let's see what this Mount Mulanje has in store for us.
We're Suhei and Lucas. We're from the United States and Mexico, and we're on a lifetime journey to visit every country and territory in the entire world. Along the way, we want to visit the most wild places and have the most incredible experiences with the most incredible people. We're in Africa as part of a 3-month expedition to drive across the continent and back in a 4-wheel drive truck that we can camp in, sleep in, and cook out of to get to the most wild places. We started in Mozambique, crossed South Africa, Botswana, Namibia, Zimbabwe, Zambia, passing through Malawi, and we'll finish in Tanzania.
We just entered Malawi for the first time. Little country, 20 million people, super chaotic. We've driven 100 meters. We've already been offered to change dollars, SIM cards, give US dollars, food, ask for 2 bribes. We've driven like 100 meters. This is gonna be an awesome adventure. Let's do Malawi.
In Malawi, there are people everywhere. Malawi is a geographically small country in southern Africa, but with a population of 25 million, over half of which are under the age of 30. The population is forecast to grow to over 50 million in the next 25 years, bringing with it serious environmental problems. Parts of the nation are still beautiful, though it's sometimes hard to escape the mass of humanity.
Lilongwe, main city of Malawi. Unremarkable. It's a traffic jam. Not much to do here. We're gonna go climb Mount Mulanje. Way more fun.
We met some really friendly and really amazing people in Lilongwe. However, every time we went out on the street, we were approached by beggars and only spent 2 days in the capital.
We're on the main highway, the worst road in Malawi. It's clogged up with baboons. Look at this guy.
Sí, nos están viendo, nos
Where are you going? Where are you going? Whoa, don't jump up. Whoa. Okay, we're gonna keep the windows closed just in case. Hey there, buddy. That is a red hiney.
Don't be scared. We won't hurt you.
Arguably, one of the biggest problems facing Malawi today is how corrupt the police are. I can say this now that we're out of the country. The police are a drain on the Malawian people, and the Malawian people deserve better. We drove through over 70 checkpoints in Malawi during our time there, every 5 kilometers on all the main roads, where they continuously ask for bribes and invent things like you're speeding or you don't have a license, and on and on. In reality, Malawians told us that the police don't do anything in the country besides checkpoints, and it's hard to disagree based on our experience.
Driving through a typical village road here in Malawi. There's just people everywhere, and there's no road. And everybody looks at me. This is part of the adventure. Look at this.
In reality, you should probably never drive at night in Malawi, but this is something we had to learn the hard way. There's just so many people with so few lights all over the road. Nevertheless, we were happy to finally arrive at our destination of Mount Mulanje, highest peak in Malawi.
So, it's a beautiful sunny day. Rain is forecast. We are starting the hike up Mount Mulanje. To Sapitwa Peak, the highest peak in Malawi, and one of the most exotic peaks in the world for me. This is gonna be an adventure.
Supposedly, you're required to take a guide to climb Mount Mulanje. However, the route is quite easy. It's marked on GPSs, and it's really not that dangerous. We chose to do it without a guide. This may or may not be illegal, but we still had an amazing experience, and none of the locals said anything to us.
Getting a little steep here, up, more and more inclined. Nothing we can't handle. Just breathe, pace yourself, and enjoy it. Remember, we're doing this for fun. Lots of locals do this for work. They do this for money, and they can't understand why we would pay to do this. It's suffering, but it's beautiful.
Hello! Oh, Mulanje, Malawi!
We just found a little chameleon. I don't know what species this is. We're gonna look it up after. It's this little guy, and he's got grippy hands and feet, and these eyes that move in weird ways. He's awfully cute. He's probably also endangered because there's a lot of men cutting down the forest here. So we're gonna leave this guy in a safe place off the trail so we can thrive and he can reproduce and he can put more chameleons on this magical mountain.
We're getting into the steepest part of the jungle trail here, and the rain is moving in.
We're on the main plateau of Mulanje here. It's raining pretty hard. It's a little chilly, but we keep moving and we stay warm. And we are inside a cloud, and this is what it looks like. Check out this waterfall. We're gonna go try to climb up. We knew there would be bad weather in the afternoon and planned accordingly. This meant wearing as few clothes as possible and risking hypothermia because we knew our clothes would never dry once we got to the hut at base camp. It's like 10 degrees Celsius, like I don't know, 48 degrees and raining. We've been hiking in the rain without a shirt for like 2 hours. We're a little cold, yeah, but we made it to the hut, so we're gonna make eggs.
And finally, we arrived in Chisepo Hut. Yay!
Chisepo Hut is open year-round and only costs about 80 cents US. There's a caretaker on site, which makes sure everything is clean and orderly. And now that we're inside the hut, it's a few degrees warmer, though it's not very warm. So we're gonna try to dry off by the little fire here and get some dry clothes on and make dinner. The hut is pleasantly basic with only a hard floor to sleep on, a moderately warm fire in the center, but offers a roof and walls to get out of the cold wind, rain, and fog that seems to perpetually coat the mountain. There's a stream nearby to wash dishes and bathe, and there's outhouses outside to use the bathroom. Travelers should come here looking for adventure, not luxury.
It's bedtime. We're in our sleeping bags. I'm just trying to be warm. We're gonna see if we can sleep tonight because there's 11 other people in the hut and they're talking so loud. Good night.
Because of lots of rain overnight, we chose not to leave the hut too early because the mountain was still soaked and slippery. We left for the summit in late morning, even though it might mean risking afternoon storms.
Look at that.
We passed a mostly sleepless, chilly night in the hut, and now we waited for the sun to come up nice and high to dry the rocks on this slippery mountain. It's a beautiful day. Chance of rain this afternoon, we'll see. But we are going to try to summit Sapitwa.
Sapitwa.
Let's see what happens in the next few hours as we ascend alone this majestic Malawian peak. Reaching the summit of Sapitwa Peak, the highest point in Malawi, typically takes much less than a full day from Chisepo Base Hut to the summit and back. The route is generally considered about class 3 by North American standards, not really that difficult, and the route finding is marked with little yellow and red markers. However, in bad weather, the route finding can be almost impossible. You just follow the red arrows. They're actually very well marked and they point the way to the summit. We're entering a cloud here, or cloud is entering where we are, and it's all misty and foggy and the wind is whipping and it's cold and wet. And we think that's the summit, kind of in the mist there. Hard to say. We're really close though, 150 vertical meters. It keeps getting more and more exposed. That was quite a move, that mantle. It's just smooth, slippery rock. A fall might not be fatal, but it could be a broken leg, which in this weather could be fatal. And there's no rescue in Malawi, of course. We are the rescue. We're our own self-rescue team. So let's just be careful from now on. This may be the crux of the whole climb. It's this little hand rope here, just before the summit block. Just don't slip. Without the rope, this would be a lot tougher. And this is it. This is it. We're arriving at the summit of Malawi, Sapitwa Peak. It's pretty exposed. The weather's bad, and we are moving fast without brakes because there may be bad weather this afternoon. But we're just about there. Here's the summit. Here we go. There it is.
Yay! Finally!
My gosh, it was like 4 false summits, but we made it. We're gonna spend about 1 minute on the summit. It is freezing cold. We're hungry. I left my backpack with all our stuff just below to fit through those rocks. Here we are. Woo-hoo! Sapitwa Peak, Malawi! Sway! Woo-hoo! Here we are at the summit! Yeah! 1 minute on the summit is up, we're going down. We're now halfway through today. Going down can be tougher because you're tired, because it's slippery. But we made it. We did it. There it is. There's the summit.
A new rule in Africa for our trip: be careful when taking shortcuts. Sometimes it's worth it, sometimes it's not. Here's the shortcut we're on to save 20 minutes. It's the middle of nowhere. It's great, but I don't think it's gonna save us time. Hello.
We spent only a few days recovering in Blantyre before continuing our journey north.
The main hazard in Malawi for the traveler, it's not lions, it's not snakes, it's not thieves, it's not malaria, it's just people on the road. It's barely wide enough for 2 cars, let alone 2 cars with like hundreds of people and bicycles. I swear all of Malawi walks on the road all day and definitely all night.
Every highway we drove, we were continuously amazed how many people were out at all hours of the day, at all parts of the highway. While there's only some marked towns on the highways, it seems like civilization seems to encroach the shoulders nonstop, and even when there's farmland, there's still hundreds of people walking along the shoulder, going to wherever they're going. We spent our final days in Malawi in the stunning mountains in the north of the country outside of Livingstonia. All in all, Malawi is an incredible country. Any traveler coming here will find the adventure that they're looking for and will meet the nicest people. In the end, it's the big warm smiles of so many countless Malawians that we'll take with us in our memories. The country is beautiful, there's so much to do, but it's the people that really define this amazing African nation.